This residential development is one of the world's leading examples of forward planning for the integration of electric vehicles. I'm at the Witchcliff Eco Village in the Margaret River region in southwest Western Australia. The village has been designed to be self-sufficient in energy, water and fresh food. I'm here to find out what makes it so special and why it's seen as a leading example in the transition to the uptake of electric vehicles. Witchcliff Eco Village was selected as a case study site for the Strategic Electric Vehicle Integration Research Project, or SEVI for short, supported by Race for 2030. Today, I will be talking to researchers, the Eco Village developers and residents about the planning, technologies and practicalities required for the mass uptake of EVs in residential developments. Associate Professor Charlie Hargroves is co-chief investigator of the SEVI project, which involves over 30 industry, university and government partners.
The transition to electrification of transport is well underway, and this is raising all sorts of new questions for developers. The reason we chose Witchcliff Eco Village is because it is genuinely a world-class example of a first mover to strategically integrate EV infrastructure into a residential development right from the start, well ahead of the curve. And now the resulting infrastructure is not only owned, but it's operated by the residents for their benefit.
What are the main components of the energy system here at the Eco Village?
Most of these homes will have their own dwelling level batteries. So if there's any excess solar that isn't being used by the home, it gets used by their neighbour. And then anything left over goes into the shared battery. That battery acts like an electronic brain, and it really orchestrates how energy flows through the microgrid. It's actually quite a complex system that hasn't been part of these sorts of developments ever before.
The development is organised into separate groups of around 20 homes that are referred to as clusters. Each cluster has a community battery for energy storage, which feeds an EV fast charger. Each home has a large solar array, and some have battery storage. Any excess energy from the homes charges the community battery, and that's where this project gets really interesting. Mike Hume and Michelle Sheridan drove the ambition for the project as founders of the Witchcliff Eco Village.
The whole intent behind the Eco Village was to build the most sustainable human settlement we could build. With regards to energy, the objective was to be 100% self-sufficient in renewable energy on site for all residents and businesses.
We're really dependent on car travel in rural areas. We don't have public transport that we can rely on and to get us around. And so it was really important to us that we provided that for the community to be self-sufficient and to be able to provide their own energy for their cars in the future.
And that enabled us to come up with a model that would enable each cluster to be self-sufficient in renewable energy, from rooftop solar, charging a battery to get them through the night. That infrastructure is expensive infrastructure, and we always wanted the community to own the infrastructure. Several consultants had tried to talk me into owning the infrastructure so we could actually make a profit on the batteries and selling the energy from the batteries back to the community. I wanted it to be community owned and to be as affordable as possible. In terms of the EV chargers, how do we make some income from the resale of our excess renewable energy? We came up with this idea of, if we put an EV charger in each cluster, instead of getting 3.5 cents a kilowatt hour for our excess energy with our energy retailer, we could probably get 35 cents a kilowatt hour. And we knew, of course, that would take time until there's enough EVs on the road.
Building resilience into the long-term future of the community was really, really important to us. By including the EV chargers into stage 1 to 3 of the village, that means that people have the convenience of being able to charge up quickly if they have a spontaneous trip to Perth. But we also made sure that every house had to have 3-phase power connection in their garage and their carport so that they are future-proof.
Mike and Michelle are energy transition pioneers, and it took many years for them to work through the barriers. So how does the model they have created stack up? G'day, Dean.
G'day, Josh.
Thanks for the ride.
You're welcome anytime.
Dr. Dean Economou is leading the research on value propositions and business models for this case study. What are the main business case considerations for a project of this scale when it comes to planning for the integration of EVs?
The core value is because we've got solar energy providing very, very low cost energy. That enables a whole load of clever things to happen. In this case, it was fast chargers and a very large battery, effectively free solar energy. That system then gives you lots of value streams, some of which we're looking at now, which is charging for EV charging, but some are going to come in the future.
It takes early adopters to test this. What are some of the key takeouts from what's been done here?
We know you have to have solar, we know you have to have storage, we know you have to connect to the grid. So the smarter you can be in that, and the smarter the microgrid infrastructure that controls everything, the more future-proof you're going to be. And Witchcliff made a lot of good decisions and had some learning along the way. And now, as that market develops and all these options develop, the infrastructure is already there to get the benefits.
So what can we learn from the Witchcliff Eco Village about providing energy to charge electric vehicles in a clever way? Well, that's where having a good understanding of how energy systems function is key. Dr. Leah Hubert from the research team is working on technology deployment and data analysis. How important is energy system scenario modelling when planning for the integration of electric vehicles in a project like this one?
Energy modeling allows us to understand how the different components of an energy system work together to plan smarter, to make the most of this renewable energy being generated on site. Look to the future, try to see how not only renewable energy and EV chargers can reduce the environmental impact of such development, but also lower the infrastructure costs in the long term.
So it's not so much about a residential development like this one becoming just self-sufficient. It's about how it can also complement the operation of the grid.
That's right, and as the grid is transitioning, we need more and more of those development to be self-sufficient at times, but also being able to contribute positively to the grid. Having residential precinct like this one adopt community batteries and EV chargers, they have the ability to have a use of their excess energy on site and not putting the pressure on the grid.
Cost is always a big part of the conversation when it comes to electrifying a development. So how did Mike and Michelle balance the cost versus the outcomes they wanted to achieve?
So we basically set out to make sure that each home would have around 5 kilowatt hours of additional renewable energy each day. That would give them around about 25 kilometres a day of travel in their electric vehicle. They would charge off their home charger.
They might not have an EV now, but someone in the future owning their home will. So they didn't have that cost then of having to retrofit just to be able to charge their car. And I think it's just part of settling into the community and then going, oh, well, what's my next step? I'm growing my food, I've got my water in my rainwater tank, the fuel that I'm putting in my car.
I'm absolutely confident that EVs are the future because of our experience of owning an EV. The lower maintenance costs, they're more enjoyable to drive, you can charge off solar, there's no pollution. The reality of that is so compelling to switch to an electric vehicle.
It's been fascinating hearing from the researchers and developer, but now I'm on my way to meet some people who live here to find out how the provision of EV charging infrastructure influenced their decision to move here. Lawrence and Janet bought one of the first blocks at the Witchcliff Eco Village and have built their dream home. Well, it's great to see you make the most of the facilities.
Yes, it's very, very convenient having this right there and our home right there, so yes.
How important was the electric vehicle charging infrastructure for you in making a decision to move here?
When we looked at all the different estates, the only one that really had the power generation and export and usage as part of the overall facilities was this one. The fact that we could use our own power to run our car.
Yeah, it's a lovely thought that you've got a roof full of panels there, and everybody has, and we're making our own energy. We're not bringing it in from anywhere else, and we're using it, to charge cars for our lifestyles.
How does it work from a user perspective?
We have an EV charger in the garage, and We have that set as eco mode, so what the house isn't using can go into the car if we want it to. But that's fairly slow. And if we then want to top up, we bring it out here and use the fast charger out here. And it's the microgrid that makes the difference.
The Witchcliffe Eco Village is a shining example of how future-focused thinking can help us navigate the renewable energy and EV transition, and shows us how we can meet the needs of our communities for a cleaner and more sustainable future. We've seen today that this development is at the leading edge of the energy transition. But what's the next big step when it comes to the strategic integration of electric vehicles?
Well, Josh, this is where it gets really interesting. So the focus now is on how can we take excess energy from solar panels across the community to power up our cars and to keep them moving. But what we're going to see as we get more and more cars is that's going to flip on its head, where eventually we'll have so many electric vehicles around, and these cars have quite large batteries, sometimes 4 or 5 times bigger than the ones we're putting in our homes. So that provides an incredible storage resource. I think this represents the next really big step in the strategic integration of EVs into residential developments and provides an incredible opportunity for leadership.
You can find out more about EV integration and take a look at the other case studies in the SEVI research project by visiting racefor2030.com.au.